Wow. I think we have to start off by taking a collective breath, Marc Raimondi of MMAfighting.com. It is over at UFC 210 in Buffalo, New York. And to say that this was eventful would be the understatement of the night. Marc, let's get right to it. The main event, DC Daniel Cormier defending his light heavyweight championship by easily dismantling Anthony Rumble Johnson for the second time, this time in the second round, much like the first fight. He sinks in that choke, and we get a clear tap and a clear victor here. Easy work for Cormier. What'd you make of the way the fight went down in the rematch?
The actual fight went, I think, just about the way most people would have expected it. I think if you would have said Cormier by second round submission, I think most people probably would have said, yeah, that sounds about right. It was very similar to what happened in the first fight when they fought in May 2015. So that whole thing, the result of that fight, to me, is not surprising. What happened yesterday with the towel and what happened afterward with Rumble Johnson retiring is completely bizarre, and I'm still trying to piece together what the heck happened. I really don't know why Anthony Johnson retired. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It does not, and I saw the look on his face, and you could see that he was getting to some monumental decision inside that octagon, and I said to the guys here at 120, he's going to retire. I was hoping that that would not be the case. Marc, could this be heat of the moment? You heard Daniel Cormier come back afterward and say he can't retire. We need him in the UFC. He's got much more to give to mixed martial arts. Is this just a temporary rash decision from a guy who clearly can't beat the champ?
I don't know. He made it seem like this was something that he had already planned going into the fight. He said something about having another job, another commitment that he's always wanted to do, not in MMA. He was very vague. He didn't make any specific details about what that job was. Just very strange, Dave. I really don't. That's completely took me aback because Rumble Johnson was there all week in Buffalo and was talking the same way he always does about winning the fight, and he was the favorite in the fight going in. A lot of people thought he could win. He could beat Daniel Cormier, who's now 38 years old. Rumble Johnson he's in his 30s, but he's still in the prime of his career. The guy can still knock out almost anyone on the planet. I mean, this is probably about one of the baddest men on the planet in terms of fighting. I don't care what kind of fighting it is. Rumble Johnson is one of the baddest human beings on the planet, and now he's stepping away from fighting, and that is just completely. It just seems crazy to me.
All right, well, I'm sure there'll be more to come from Rumble Johnson, who, again, as you said, sounds like he's going to step aside. We'll find out if that's permanent. Let's go to the champ. Gets booed, doesn't get the love, says, hey, if I say I'm going to retire, will you guys like me now? I think he's starting to wear the black hat well. Do you think he's embracing this almost? Like, okay, you might not like my style, but you got to respect it because nobody outside of Johnny Bones Jones has been able to handle it.
Well, it's so funny. It's so funny, Dave, because Daniel Cormier he's just a great guy. Outside the cage, he really is a good guy. He's a family man. Mm-hmm. You see the videos of him taking his son to baseball and his daughter to t-ball, and he's just a great all-around guy. And fans want to boo him, and they want to cheer for John Jones, who is not a bad guy. Knowing him personally, he's not a bad guy, but he's obviously made a lot of poor life decisions, as we know, from cocaine to hit and run to the USADA positive test last year. He's made a lot of poor life choices, but that's the guy the fans want to cheer, and they want to boo Daniel Cormier. I'm not really sure why that is, but I would not mind if DC went that way and just embraced the heat, and maybe he did that a little bit yesterday when he kind of pulled on the towel a little bit to take a little bit weight down. Losing 1.2 pounds in under 3 minutes seems a little difficult to me. I think he got a little bit of help there, but he got away with it.